Hey there! Thanks for tuning in. If you don't want to listen to me ramble throughout this video, then you can scrub along the timeline and you'll find screenshots at the end. I won't judge, it's just a short little video, but hey, time is money. Moving on, in today's little video, you'll see me make a small brick home for the town of Rochester. It's that oasis type town in between the two universities that we got from the Discovery University pack. I apologize if I sound kinda tired. I am. I decided to record my voice today because I had some free time and it's nice that I'm all alone at home, so it's less embarrassing when I do these kinds of things. So it kind of motivated me despite being a little tired. I haven't really slept all that well last night and I was busy fixing some stuff in my old room because my brother is coming home from university to you call this intern near a hospital where we live. If that sentence made any sense. But yeah, my brother's coming here from another region because he couldn't find a hospital that would accept him. So he's back here where our dad could find him a hospital. It's nepotism at its finest, but what can you do? Anyways, back to the build and not my family dynamic. I had so much fun making this house. Like any other house I've made so far, I had a lot of fun with this one because I've been watching a lot of football lately and I'm a big Manchester United fan. And I think outside Old Trafford, there's like these brick homes that you find, the working class brick homes. Of course, it doesn't look anything like this, but in general, like the UK working class home, I don't know if that's like the right terminology for it. I am not from the UK. I am very far from it. It's just this is my idea of what it is or my interpretation of what I've seen on Pinterest. But basically, this particular build is based off a Macy diorama set that I saw on Pinterest. I don't know. I don't even know if it's a toy set. It's a model of some kind. But again, I will link everything down below if you want to see it for yourself. So yeah, I saw it on Pinterest and I thought it seems like a small enough build or like a small project for me to take on when I do have the time. And I did find the time last weekend, so I did it. And now I'm doing my voiceover for it this week, which is great fun because I get to sneak 2 videos for this week. Although I could put off the other video for the follow for next week, but I just feel like I want to post these 2 videos on Thursday and Friday. And hopefully, that'll help me out. That helps out my channel and I can focus on other things next week. It would be amazing if I can do or make houses every day, to be honest with you. I think that's a nice creative challenge. Like, if you know people, he's a VFX artist who makes renders, I think, or art every day, which is very impressive. I've discovered him because I do like to watch Corridor Crew and their old vlogs before they became like a reaction channel. But yeah, it seems like a nice challenge. Maybe one day, like I'll find a particular month, maybe December, where I try to make us a house every day, or at least a room challenge every day because there's a lot of room challenges on Insta for me to do, and I kind of like those. I kind of like going on Insta because one, find a community there, find a group of people who do the same thing you do, and hopefully you can create like a conversation or be a part of a group or a community that helps each other out. And big hypes each other up. It's just nice to be a part of something like that. And also for Insta, there's a lot of room challenges. I think that's one nice way to commemorate that, hey, I reached 1,000 followers on Insta, or I'll find a means, or it's a means of exposure as well, especially if established simmer in Insta decides to take up your challenge and they share your hashtag on Insta, it helps you a lot. It helps you a lot too, because there are so many other people who are trying to look for challenges or fun challenges online to do, and being given that exposure just helps a lot with not only your growth on Insta but your growth on YouTube as well. If you decide to market your videos there, that's why hopefully I get 100 subscribers soon, so I can have my own URL. Anyways, back to the build. As you can see, I'm doing some kind of cabinet for your shoes. I don't know if there's like a particular word for it, but it's made possible, or it was possible, because of the tool mod. I think out of all the mods that you can download, especially if you're a builder, you should probably invest time on learning how to use it. What I mean is, you can just use the mod for as simple as resizing objects, like what I'm doing right now with the narrow table and the normal table. I like using the narrower table for small builds like this because it creates more space and allows your sims to maneuver around spaces that they don't normally they cannot normally access when the items are regular size. And actually, some items in the sims are bigger than it really should be. And the great thing about tool mod is you can resize it in finer detail, I think. Unlike with the brackets, it's like resized, or the resizing percentage is like a predestined amount. With the tool mod, you can just fine tune it a little better to any size you want, and you don't really need tool mod or you don't really have to create amazing sophisticated builds like if you know Kate Emerald with her amazing content. You don't necessarily have to do those things. You can just use the tool mod to resize stuff. As simple as that. It's not all that daunting. Well, it is, like I said, daunting at first, but when you learn it, it's like something you miss it if you don't use it. Anyways, going back to what I was saying about this being my interpretation of what a brick home in the UK looks like. I have no idea if the floor plan is accurate or even the facade is accurate. If the house reminds me of one thing, it reminds me of Mr. Bean's apartment in the animated series, I think because of the front lawn and because of what I place later in the video in front of the house, which I think I'm going to spoil it now, which is I think it's not what I think, it is there. I've already placed it. It's a fountain, and if you're kind of familiar with the Mr. Bean animated series, there's a fountain in front of his house or apartment. I have no idea what it looks like. I don't even know if me referencing the animated series is even accurate. I just remember it, or it just reminded me of that series when I placed the fountain in front of the lawn, because I just felt like it looked a little barren, and I just added a fountain because I think that's what you see in a lot of pictures of the UK. They have fountains. Anyways, enough of me trying to remember what I saw in Google Images 30 minutes ago. Let's talk about the build again. So for this particular area of the house, I was feeling quite inspired. I initially wanted to make a greenhouse. Well, it is still a greenhouse. I was initially planning to make like a conventional greenhouse, the way I make it, where I get those tall, slender windows and just place them next to each other. But then I remembered, I think I saw from one of Kate Emerald's video that she was able to do like a glass cube out of those windows that you can find from the Snowy Escape Pack, and she used the island living item where you can make your floor see-through by adding like a floor window. So I did just that here. I used her video as a reference, so I always use her as a reference because one, she's an amazing builder and she uses the tool mod a lot in ways I don't even know where she came up with it, but she did. And here is me trying to recreate that glass cube thingy that she did. in one of her videos in my build. And I think it looks pretty nice because, like I said, this is my interpretation of what a UK house is. And I've noticed with the minimal research that I did for this particular build, some of the houses, they do have those like glass backyard types, at least in the more posh areas, is I think what you call them, or those areas, the richer part of town or the wealthier part of town. But yeah, they majority, or not majority, well, at least the majority of the houses or apartments I saw had those glass cubes things, so I decided to place it there, and it kind of looks pretty neat. Moving on, the great thing about doing small builds for The Sims is, one, it's easier to film, and you have more time to show off all of the build in its entirety and not really cut off some parts because of time constraints. That's why I do kind of like making small houses. One, because it fits in with my schedule more. I don't really spend much making. But then again, if I really do like a project, or if I have this big project in mind, I will most likely make it like a big family house. I am planning to make one. I have this one project in mind. But anyways, we are heading towards the screenshots, so we'll talk about the build more when that comes, like in a minute, or no, in a second. Here we are, the screenshots. For a couple of months now, I've been really consistent with the Sims 1 camera vibes, but I might change it up a bit in the future, especially with my Insta account. If you do follow me there, if you don't, check me out there and you might like what you see. It's basically just the picture version of what you see here, but with the camera 1 angle. But again, I'll change that up. So yeah, this is the house. I had so much fun making it. It was a 1-seater. Filming it was a joy because it only took me like a maximum of 3 hours. The fact that it took me a maximum of 3 hours, and when I have to cut down the unnecessary parts, it's just like a 1 hour long video. And when it's a 1 hour long video sped up, it's like a 12-minute video or 10-minute video. So today I'm able to post a 14-minute or so long video on YouTube, which is nice because I tried my very best to not like post 25-minute long speed builds. I'd love to do stop motion more. I've done it in the past, but I get motion sick way too easily, like the very act of doing the stop motion, because the camera is jittery while you take the photos. It's just, it makes me sick, and I really wish I could do it, but I can't. So hopefully the speed builds and the screenshots are sufficient enough, or enough for you to keep engaged or to keep you entertained, because I'm trying my best to make it as entertaining as possible, especially with the voiceover. So yeah, and engaging as possible. So comment down below if you want. I'll try to engage as much as I can, because I want to create a community here. I want to create friends here. I also feel a sense of accomplishment when I do these kinds of builds, because it is kind of like therapy for me, or like it is therapy for me, like what I've said in the past. When I'm feeling down, I just like to create. It gives me free dopamine. I don't have to pay for serotonin pills, which is nice. Saving is nice. Anyways, here are the final screenshots for the build. Overheads as usual. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Hope you're having a great day wherever you may be. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.